What's up, YouTube? I hope each and every one of you guys are healthy and enjoying life today. In today's video, I'm going to be reviewing the 2024 BMW X7 xDrive40i. Huge thank you to Julius Green over here at BMW of Sterling, Virginia for allowing me to do this video for you guys today. If you are interested in this particular X7 or any BMW product, then I'll be sure to have Julius's information on screen as well as in the description box down below. But with that said, let's get into the video. It is a beautiful yet hot day outside here today, and I'm just glad there's no wind. But just like usual, first I'm going to talk about the exterior and the performance. So like I said, this is a 2024 BMW X7 xDrive40i. And this particular one has been painted in sparkling copper metallic. I wanted to preface this video by saying for 2024, BMW added optional crystal headlights and an illuminated grille to their options list, as well as added the highway assistant to the driving assistant professional package. But this being the xDrive40i, as standard, you get adaptive LED headlights with automatic high beams, as well as LED daytime running lights and LED turn signals. This is what the front end of the xDrive40i looks like, and you may be able to tell you have your BMW Rondale located at the center of your hood. Coming down, this being the non-M Sport, you get the satin aluminum kidney grille with the black accenting. You may be able to tell that you get a forward-facing camera separating those two kidneys, and that is because this one has been optioned with the $900 parking assistance package, which gives you that forward-facing camera, and that forward-facing camera works with your 360-degree view camera system that makes tight parking situations a breeze. Now, coming down just a little bit, you get a gloss black lower grille with that satin aluminum accenting. That's the gloss black lower grille, that's the satin aluminum accenting, and then you get outer bumper venting both here and here, which help aid with aerodynamics, which hopefully in turn leads to better fuel economy. But who really knows? I'm a YouTube car reviewer, not an engineer. Also, as standard, you get 6 forward-facing sensors, and the xDrive40i gets 8.7 inches of ground clearance. Now, I wanted to say, if you're looking for, you're going for more a sporty look, you may want to look into getting the M Sport package or the M Sport Professional package, or you can get both of them. But I still think the non-M Sport still looks fantastic. But coming on down the side, you get the body color wheel arch moldings, and all X7s get the air ride suspension with the adaptive dampers, basically meaning when you switch this thing into sport mode, the suspension firms up. When you switch it into comfort mode, it loosens up for a more comfortable ride. If you want, a more of a handler, I guess you could say, you might want to look into getting the optional $3,300 dynamic handling package, because that gives you the active suspension with road preview, which basically has a camera located about up top there, and it's going to read the road in front of you. If it senses a pothole, it's going to loosen the suspension before it hits the pothole, so you go over it and you feel it less. Honestly, don't quite know if it's worth it, but you could look into getting it if you're looking at spending some money. But this one has been optioned with the $1,300 22-inch bespoke bicolor orbit gray wheels, and these wheels are wrapped in 275/40 in the front and 315/35 in the rear Continental Premium Contact 6 SSR tires. And I'm going to give you a view of the tread pattern on these tires here real quick. That is what the tires look like. I'm also going to let you know that you get rain sensing wipers as standard, and here is a front 3/4 shot of this thing. Working my way down the side, you get body color mirror caps with integrated turn signals, and as standard, these side view mirrors are heated, power folding. The driver's side mirror is auto dimming. You also get memory functions, so if you have multiple people driving the vehicle, you get 2 memory seat adjustment settings. So not only is it going to memorize the seat and the steering wheel settings, it is also going to memorize the outer mirror settings, which makes things very convenient. And then I also wanted to mention, you get your blind spot monitoring on the outer left hand side of your driver's side mirror and on the outer right hand side of your passenger side mirror. And last but not least, this one being optioned with the parking assistance package, you get a camera on the bottom of both of your side view mirrors, and those cameras work with your 360-degree view camera system. Now I'm going to take a step back and give you a side profile shot of the xDrive40i. Again, if you don't like the satin aluminum roof rails, window trim, or this chrome trim piece down here, take a look at the M Sport package. It's going to gloss black all of those things out. Black all those things out, but gloss black all those things out. Anyways, this being the non-M Sport, you get the satin aluminum roof rails, you get the satin satin aluminum window trim. You get body color door handles with keyless access and illumination, so you get a light on the bottom of all 4 of your door handles. Taking a step back, this being the non-M Sport, you get that chrome hockey stick right here, and then you can see that satin black piece right there. There's a light hiding underneath there, and that is for your welcome mat. So when you walk up to your vehicle at night, the vehicle is going to sense you, and it's basically going to illuminate this whole area. It's basically like you have a puddle light, except it's illuminating from down there. And then working my way to the back end, up top here, you get your body color antenna as well as your body color roof spoiler with your integrated third brake light. You get a rear window defroster. Obviously, you also get a rear wiper, and this being the X7, you get LED taillights as standard. Now here is a rear 3/4 shot of this thing. Looks absolutely fantastic. And taking a step to the right, here is a booty shot of this thing. Again, this being the non-M Sports, you get the chrome badging back here with your X7 and your xDrive40i badging. Again, you get another BMW Rondale back here. And then this trim piece is a mix of gloss black and chrome. And underneath this logo and offset to the right, you have your backup camera. But underneath the logo itself, if you press on that pad, that is going to open up your power liftgate. However, I don't have the vehicle unlocked and I left the key fob right here, but if you do have your key fob in your pocket, you put your hand underneath here, then the lift gate will open up. And this being the X7, the X5 is also the same way, but you get a 2-piece lift gate. This bottom piece is the tailgate, that's the upper lift gate. And if you press this button, this is going to drop the lift gate, and then this is going to drop the air suspension back here to make it a little bit easier to load in heavier objects. Press that button and the lift gate will drop. A couple things back here. So if you press this button, this is going to fold the third and the second row seats, so you get the max cargo capacity. This is max leg room for the second and the third row passengers. And then this, if you click on it, that is going to fold your third row seats down. So if you press on that, third row seats fold down. This is for the driver's side, this is for the passenger side. And then these 2 functions here are for the second row. You can power fold up and down the second row seats as well, which normally I just did a video with a $100,000 Cadillac Escalade. They have the power folding up and down third row seats, but the Escalade does not have the power folding up and down second row seats. It only has the power drop second row seats. Then you get some lighting back here. You get a storage cubby with some netting there, and if you lift it on this piece, you get quite a bit of storage space down in here. This car does run on run flat tires, so you don't get a spare tire, which is why you have a ton of storage space back here. And yeah, that is what that looks like. You can fit what you need to under there. And you also get a 12-volt power outlet here on the passenger side of the trunk. And that's kind of about it for what we got going on here in the trunk area. If you wanted to close everything up, you can either click that, or you can click this button. It's going to close the lift gate. That button is going to lock the vehicle. Press that button. This piece is going to close. That piece is going to close at the same time. And while that is happening, we're going to finish things off here at the back end. So you do get a body color rear bumper with chrome accenting on the outsides of the bumper. You also get another 6 parking sensors back here. You get a dual exhaust system, the silver rear valance that separates the dual exhaust system. And if you got the optional tow hitch, you could get a max tow capacity of 7,500 pounds. One more thing I wanted to point out is that this thing does ask for 91 octane. So when you open this thing up, 91 octane is what it asks for. You can put 89 octane minimum, but it would prefer 91. And that kind of about does it for the exterior of the X7. This is one of the nicest 3-row SUVs on the market, in my opinion. Very comfortable, very spacious, but also it comes in under the pricing of the Cadillac Escalade. Yes, the Escalade is bigger, but this has more features in certain respects. But anyways, with that stuff out of the way, let's move into performance. Popping open that hood reveals the legendary B58 3-liter turbo inline 6-cylinder that works with a 48-volt mild hybrid system. Total output is 375 horsepower and 398 pound-feet of torque. It's made it to an 8-speed automatic transmission for a 0 to 60 time in 5.6 seconds. And if you are wondering about fuel economy, you can achieve 21 miles per gallon in the city, 25 miles per gallon on the highway for 22 miles per gallon combined with xDrive. Only xDrive being all-wheel drive. And if this is not enough power for you, they also offer the M60, which has a turbo V8, makes quite a bit more horsepower than this. But honestly, this thing is just fine power-wise. But if you're enjoying the video so far today, please be sure to give this video a big thumbs up. please hit that subscribe button. I'm on my journey to 100,000 subscribers, and I cannot reach my goal without your support. So if you're enjoying the video, if you've learned anything from the video, please take a second to like, comment, and subscribe. Those things help grow my channel. I would greatly appreciate it. But with that stuff out of the way, let's move into the interior. Moving on into the interior, as mentioned earlier, you get keyless access as standard. Just keep in mind though, the keyless access function is only on your front 2 door handles. The rear 2 door handles do not get the keyless access function, but all you have to do is have your key fob in your pocket, walk up to the vehicle, put your hand behind the door handle, and it will unlock. You can also lock it if you run your finger across these 3 lines here, and it will lock back up. There is also a proximity function, so when you walk up to it, it's already unlocked, and when you walk away from it, it locks back up. This is what the key fob looks like. It's gloss black, it's silver, and going over the functions, you have your unlock function, your power liftgate function, your panic function, your lock function, and if you press this 3 times and hold, that is your remote start function. And that is what remote start sounds like from the exterior. Pretty quiet, which is on par for a luxury vehicle. But this one has been spec'd with the black Sensafin upholstery. They also do option for the full merino leather or the extended merino leather. This one's just been opted with the Sensafin, which is basically like a synthetic leather. Also, this has been optioned with the $4,200 20 speaker Bowers & Wilkins sound system. So you get the fancy speakers around there and there. The sound system itself sounds fantastic. You have your unlock and your lock functions. These controls here are to basically make ease of access for that person to walk into the 3rd row. So basically it's gonna push this seat forward, it's gonna push that 2nd row seat forward and make ease of access to the 3rd row. Then you get 2 memory seat adjustment settings. If I click that L2 button and I start messing with these controls here, that is going to move that passenger seat over there. So when I move this, now you can see that's moving forwards, now it's moving backwards. All you gotta do is click that button there. That is to open and or close your power lift gate. Here are your power side view mirror controls. That is to power fold in or out your side view mirrors. You get automatic up and down windows at all 4 corners. That is going to restrict your passenger window privileges. As standard, you get heated armrests. So this is heated. You get some ambient lighting. You get the fancy speaker there. This also has been optioned with the brown poplar wood. That does come standard. I'm just saying option because you can choose what color and stuff. Then you get some storage space here, a spot you could set a water bottle, and this being a BMW, obviously you get power adjustable front seats, 4-way power lumbar, the thigh extension, the whole 9. Also, as standard, they are heated, but this one has been optioned with the $1,600 climate comfort package, which gives you the ventilated front seats. But stepping on into the interior, let's hear what it sounds like when we close the door. Now let's gain full access into the interior. And now I'm just gonna walk you throughout the entire interior, starting with this HVAC vent. Coming below the HVAC vent, this is for your headlight controls. And if you click this button right here, that is going to pop open this screen on your infotainment system, taking you into your exterior lighting screen. You can turn on your parking lights, low beams. You can turn the parking lights on individually, and then you can also go into the additional settings, which you can see on screen now. I'm not going to go too in depth there. And then beneath that, you get some storage space. You can set your key fob, sunglasses, etc. This being the X7, as standard, you get a power tilting and telescoping steering wheel. You can bring the steering wheel out, you can bring it backwards, and it goes down and up. And then also the steering wheel is is also included with the memory seat functions. Now let's take a listen to the turn signal. That is what the turn signal sounds like here on the X7. And not only is this your turn signal control stock, but if you click this BC button right here, it's going to pop up this screen on your infotainment system. You can see values for this trip. Then you got your odometer down there. You keep clicking on that. You can see value since refuel, value since factory, value since individual, and then it brings you back into values for this trip. And then this button is basically to turn the automatic high beam system on or off. Now this one being the non-M Sport, you don't get the M Sport steering wheel. I love the M Sport steering wheel. This one still looks pretty cool. You also do still have the steering wheel mounted paddle shifters. The steering wheel is leather wrapped and heated as standard, and like any other vehicle, you have your horn at the center. So let's take a listen to it. It sounds pretty muffled because the X7 has tons of sound insulation. Now, going over the controls on the left-hand side of the steering wheel, these are for your cruise control settings, but this one being optioned with the $2,100 driving assistance professional package, you get the adaptive cruise control with stop and go, as well as the highway assistant, which is hands-free driving. You also get traffic jam assistant, lane keep assist, and the active driving assistant pro. Coming to this side of the steering wheel, here are your volume controls. These are your tuning controls, but then these controls also double for the controls for your digital gauge cluster. And beneath that, if I click on that phone button, that's going to pop up my phone stuff on the head-up display system. This is going to pop up the controls for the digital dash, and then that is to speak to the vehicle, or if you press and hold on it, it is going to pop open Siri if you are connected to Apple CarPlay. Now, going throughout this screen, I guess I should tell you that this is a 12.3-inch digital gauge cluster. This is what the digital gauge cluster looks like. You have your tachometer over here, your transmission status stuff, your audio stuff, speedometer, digital speedometer readout, time, fuel range, fuel gauge. That is the speed limit sign. That's letting you know who's buckled, who's not buckled. You have the coolant temperature gauge and the ambient exterior temperature. Now again, to control this screen, if I click on this button right here, I'm going to go into content. So right now, this is the media/radio screen. If you go up, this is your G meter. You go up one more, you have your map stuff. Then you got your route preview stuff, your augmented reality. The augmented reality is basically a camera at the center of the vehicle facing forward, and that is what the camera view is like. You go up one more, then you get your driver assistance view. You get your trip data stuff, and all the way up is the reduced view. I kind of like this one the best. But clicking over to the right, then you have your different layouts. So this is one of the layouts. I like this one the best. This is the second one, and then this is the third one. Again, I like the one all the way at the top, which is the one we were already on. And as standard with the xDrive40i, you get a head-up display system. And if you click all the way to the right, you can go into the head-up display system. Right now, the head-up display system is in the standard view, which is showing me my digital speedometer readout and my speed limit sign. Then I got my directional view, which is the compass, assisted view, which is the same thing I already went over. Then you get the sport view, which gives you the tachometer, and all the way down you have your reduced view, which is basically similar to what this looks like here. If you wanted to adjust the brightness, the rotation, the height, all that kind of stuff, you got to do that through the infotainment system. Which, before we get into the infotainment system, I wanted to show you with the $4,200 Bowers & Wilkins sound system, it has the Bowers & Wilkins lettering up top here, letting everybody know that you spec the Bowers & Wilkins sound system. This sounds fantastic. If you like listening to music in your vehicle, this is an option I would definitely recommend. Now, beneath that, this is your infotainment system, and it is a 14.9-inch infotainment system with built-in navigation and wireless Apple CarPlay and wireless Android Auto connectivity. This is the iDrive 8 system, and this entire curved display was new to the X7 in the 2023 model year. But going throughout the display, down here you have your climate control stuff, you have your climate control stuff, and then all your different shortcut buttons down here into your audio stuff, map stuff, climate stuff, home button. This is your secondary view, which is what we're in now. Then you have your phone stuff and your Apple CarPlay stuff. You get full screen Apple CarPlay. Pretty darn sweet. But I wanted to show you the home screen. This is basically what the home screen looks like. If you swipe, you can go in between all of these different screens here. Basically, you know, similar stuff to the digital gauge cluster. But this is what the climate control system looks like. This one has been optioned with the $1,600 climate comfort package, which gives you a 5-zone climate control system. Absolutely insane. Pretty awesome if you have multiple people driving in the vehicle often. But anyways, this is the secondary menu, and this is what all of your apps look like. If you think this is a little too overwhelming, you can split it in between the infotainment apps and the vehicle apps. So that is that, and I like to go into all apps, and if I'm looking for something like, let's say, you know, ambient lighting, I can type in ambient lighting, and it's going to bring me into my ambient lighting stuff. Or if you wanted to go into like remote start, you can just type in like remote engine start, and it will bring up your remote engine start stuff. So I like to look stuff up because it just makes things much easier. You know, the screen does take some getting used to, so you will have to learn it after a little bit of time. But after a week or so, you're really going to know how to use it. I just wish that there was, you know, physical climate controls just to make it easy to turn up the fan speed and stuff. But it's really not that big of a deal. And then, again, this one being optioned with the climate comfort package, you get the ventilated front seats. If you wanted to mess with the ventilated front seats, you click where it says the temperature stuff, and then you get your heated seats here, 3 3 levels of adjustability. Heated steering wheel for the driver, 1 level of adjustability, and the ventilated seats, you get 3 levels of adjustability. You do the same thing on this side, and you get the heated and the ventilated seat functions. And that's kind of about it for that display. Coming down a little bit more, you get this like almost like carbon fiber looking trim, even though it's not actually that. Then you get some ambient lighting over there. It looks pretty darn sweet. But coming down a little bit, you have your physical volume control knob. These are to go forwards and or backwards on a track. This is your hazard button. Then you get your front defroster, your rear defroster, and if you close this off, you get that brown poplar wood trim. Right now it's not closing all the way because I had my phone in there, but now it's closing all the way. You get an ambient lighting strip here. You get an ambient lighting strip on that side as well. But if you open this thing up, you also get a wireless charging pad here on the left. That is an iPhone 14 Pro Max, one of the bigger phones on the market. And once the wireless charging pad is working, it will let you know wireless charging pad is active. Then you get some storage space down in there. You get a USB-A port, a 12-volt power outlet, and 2 cup holders. All of this area right here is gloss black with that wood surround. Looks really, really nice. And going over the functions here, all of this stuff is for your iDrive8 system. So basically you can navigate throughout the screen by twisting that, and then if you wanted to select on something like Apple CarPlay, you could push down on that and it's going to bring you into whatever you're selecting, and then you can go in between that stuff here on this display as well. And then these are all of your different shortcut buttons into your media, home, app, nav, telephone. Then you get a back button and an option button, and that's kind of about it. So all of this stuff right here is for your infotainment system. That is to turn your traction control system off or on. That is to pop up the 360-degree view camera system or bring you into your parking sensor stuff. You can turn the parking sensors on or off. That is what that button does. Now, coming back down a little bit more, this one being optioned with the $900 parking assistance package, you get the 360-degree view camera system, but you also get the parking assistance, which basically will parallel or perpendicular park you in a parking spot. All you have to do is modulate the brake pedal. That's about it. It will steer itself into the parking space. That is to turn the vehicle on or off. This is going to bring you in between your different drive modes. So you get your sport mode. It's going to firm up the suspension and also like give you better throttle response. It's going to rev higher and wait to switch gears. Comfort mode, obviously, is going to put you into the most comfortable suspension setting. It's going to make the steering wheel very light, and it's going to, give you good fuel economy, but it's still going to be faster than what you get in Eco Pro. Eco Pro is for ultimate fuel economy stuff. It's going to shift quicker than you want it to, basically keeping you keeping the RPMs low for better fuel economy. Not a mode I would be in. This is your hill descent control button. This is your auto hold function. Basically, the vehicle will hold you in place by itself with its braking system. If you wanted to go forward again, all you would have to do is hit the accelerator. Then you got your parking brake here, and all X7s come standard with an air ride suspension. So this is going to bring you in between your 5 different air ride modes. You can lower it all the way down to help grandma get in, or you can raise it all the way up if you're going to go into some sort of terrain stuff. As standard, you get heated armrests. So these armrests are also heated, and if you click this button right here, it's going to open this thing up and reveal a USB-C port, and I would say about 6 inches of depth here, about 4.5 inches of depth there, and then from here to here you probably get about 6 to 8 inches of usable room, and you also get a light. Closing that back up, moving over to here, you get some wood grain trim, you get that satin aluminum trim, you get the ambient lighting, you get a lockable lower glove box with quite a bit of storage space in that glove box. This is what the passenger side looks like. Very, very comfortable front seats. Auto dimming rear view mirror. You get your home link on the bottom. You can open up your house. If your house has 3 garage bays, you can open them up individually with those 3 buttons there. And then coming up a little bit more, both of your reading lights are LED. This is your instant dome light on button. It's going to turn on all of your interior dome lights. Click that again, they all turn back off. And then if you click this, that is going to open up the shade all the way back there. And then if you click that, that is going to close the shade there in the 3rd row. And then this obviously comes standard with a panoramic roof. So if I click on this, that is going to bring that shade all the way back. If I click on that, once that goes all the way back, then this sunroof is going to open up. So I'm going to show you what the sunroof looks like from the exterior's perspective now. But this is what the sunroof looks like from the interior's perspective. And if you click it back one more time, it will open up a little bit more. But closing this, I'm gonna speed this up. Right here, you have your SOS button, and then moving into the visor here, if you open this thing up, you get a vanity mirror, you get a vanity light, and then we are going to see, do the visors slide forwards and backwards? Yes, they do. So that is very nice for when the sun is in those awkward positions. And then you can see you get a Bowers & Wilkins speaker there, you get an OPU panel, and you get the same stuff on that side as well. And that's kind of about it for what we got going on here in these front seats. So now I'm going to throw the entire window sticker on screen. A couple things I wanted to mention: you get as standard, you get the wireless charging pad, the panoramic roof, the heated front seats, the heated armrest, and the heated steering wheel. This one being optioned with the climate comfort package, you get the heated rear seats and the 5-zone automatic climate control, in addition to the ventilated front seats. Take a look at everything else, because I don't want to read through all of it, but I'm just going to highlight the MSRP. So the MSRP of the way that this particular 2024 X7 xDrive40 is spec is $93,115. I just did a video with an Escalade Premium Luxury yesterday. That one was sticker priced at just under 100,000. It was like 99 and some change. And honestly, you know, the Escalade's definitely larger on the interior, so if you're going for, you know, more room, the Escalade might be the way to go, to be honest. But if this is enough room for you, this is just as comfortable as the Escalade. It's easier to park than the Escalade. You can get it for cheaper than the Escalade unless you add, you know, the M Sport package. You add the M Sport Professional package. You keep adding all these packages, then you're going to be well over $100,000. And don't even get me started if you get the M60. That is going to make things even more expensive. So this is a great value for what you get, because, you know, it might not look the sportiest, but it still looks great, and it's going to give you everything that you want. So automatic up and down windows back here. I have the restricted window button on right now, so if I click that again, now I get access to these windows. They go automatic up and down. Let's see, do they go all the way down is the question. Yes, they do. Very nice. You get the fancy speaker here, fancy speaker there. You get the very nicely padded armrest. But take a look how large this door is back here. Huge storage space, spot you could set a water bottle. And then one thing that is really nice about the X7 is that you get the power adjustable second row seats. Stepping on into the second row seats, if you click this button right here, that basically is going to give you the easy access into the third row. So if I click on this, actually I'm not going to mess with that, but anyways, look at this. All of this leg and knee room, tons and tons of leg and knee room. You get your dome light, you get your OPU panel, your dry cleaning hook, a speaker. Then opening this thing up, you get a USB-C port, seat back pocket behind the driver's seat. You get some ambient lighting, you get the same stuff behind that seat. Then you have your climate controls. Again, the climate package gives you the heated outboard second row seats with 3 levels of adjustability. That is what the climate control system looks like. And then down here, you get a 12-volt power outlet. You get 2 USB-C ports, a little bit of storage space. You can set your phone while it is charging with the USB-C ports. And then when you open this thing up here and you click this, you get access to your 2 cup holders. And you open this thing up, you get access to put your phone down in there. And then these second row seats are very, very comfortable. I'm not sure if you can tell, but you get a nice little pillow right here to keep your head propped up on a road trip. If you're a kid, you should convince your parents to get this car, because it is super comfortable. And it's basically like your parents are your chauffeur. So very comfortable, tons of knee and leg room. If I wanted to go into the third row, all I would have to do, I believe, is click this button right here, and that's going to give me ease of access into the third row. Basically scooting this seat forwards, and then it's going to go forwards just like that, making it very easy to step into the third row. So if I click on this button right here, that is going to fold this seat up, or at least it should fold this seat up. There we go. Now the seat's folding up. You got to push against it to fold the seat up, but you can see ease of access here into the third row. And even these third row seats are ultra comfortable. You get the climate control stuff up top there. You get a dome, or excuse me, an HVAC vent. You get a cup holder, a nicely padded armrest, some ambient lighting, and you open that up. Not really much right there. Come to this side, you get the same stuff. And also you get the ultra view roof up top here as well, which is pretty cool. But that's kind of about it for what we got going on here. So, you know, we talked about the exterior, we talked about the performance, and now we've talked about what's going on here in the interior. So I want to see what this thing's like to drive, as I'm assuming you guys do as well. So I'll see you guys in the driver's seat All right, now on to the driving portion of the video, where I always start my videos here. We go over these speed bumps at 5 miles an hour, and then I rate them on a scale of 1 to 10. Nothing will ever be a 10 because perfection does not exist in this world. Phenomenal over the first bump. I mean, come on, it's a luxury BMW. What do you expect? Of course it goes over these speed bumps well, but we're gonna rate it nonetheless. So again, 5 miles an hour. I'm gonna have to give her an 8.7 on a scale of 1 to 10. This is one of the best vehicles I felt going over those speed bumps. It has a very, very comfortable suspension, and to be fully transparent, I went over those speed bumps in comfort mode. Obviously, we want to have, you know, the biggest leg up that we possibly can, because I think most of you will probably be driving in comfort mode most of the time anyway. But anyways, let's see what kind of acceleration this thing has, you know, once we get a nice little shootout here. So I'm going to pull out, I think about right here, and we'll do a nice little acceleration. The B58, which is the engine that is in this, I mean, just great acceleration. It's got great pickup. You know, it's got low end torque, and it's got the top end. You know, if you want more power, because I know some of you out there like really enjoy power, as do I, but you know, if I was getting this car for myself and I had $100,000+ to spend on a vehicle, you know, I would look into maybe getting like the M60i, but that would be if I was Mr. Moneybags. But if I wasn't Mr. Moneybags and I had like a strict budget of, you know, around 90,000, maybe 95, then I'd be totally happy with the xDrive40. The only thing that I would do differently than the way that this one is spec'd, I would get the M Sport package. I just like the way that the M Sport package looks better. You know, it gives you the gloss black window trim, the gloss black roof rails. It gives you a different front and rear bumper to make it a little bit more aggressive looking. And I appreciate the look of that. But I am happy with the B58. I really like, you know, if this is your 3-row family SUV and, you know, you don't, or you have like a weekend car, you know, maybe you have an M2 or something like that as your weekend cruiser, then I would say you're going to be happy with the engine that's in this. The 40i, it's got more than enough get up. But if you're somebody out there, you know, oh man, I only have the space for one car and I kind of need a family car, but I want it to be fast, then I would suggest you take a look at spending maybe a little bit more money than the 40i and take a look at either the M60i, or they also have the Alpina XB7, which is basically like, you know, very, very comfortable cruiser, but it gives you the Alpina wheel. I mean, it's like the chef's kiss, the way the Alpina looks. I mean, it's just super classy, super quick. Here's a nice little acceleration for you. See what I'm saying? Like, it's got passing power, and that was nowhere near floored. But take a listen to what it sounds like cruising at about 60 miles an hour going over these bridge joints. Listen to the road and the wind noise. I mean, you can see it is very well insulated from the outside world. I mean, it is a $90,000 BMW, so what do you expect? Of course it's going to be well insulated from the outside world. It cruises very nicely. It's such a comfortable ride. But you know, if you even you get this car, right, you don't get the M Sport package, you still get the steering wheel mounted paddle shifters, and you know, you can still upshift and downshift the transmission. I think all you have to do is go into S, and then I guess you can downshift, and now we are in manual mode. So when this light turns green, I'm just going to be in comfort mode, and I'm just going to do like a regular acceleration using the paddle shifters. And you'll notice that the paddle shifters can be kind of lazy if you're being lazy on the throttle, but if you put this into sport mode and you're hard on the throttle, the paddle shifter response is like right on. But again, if you're being lazy on the throttle, it's going to be lazy with the shifts. If you're hard on the throttle, it's going to give you those nice, crisp, fast shifts. So, but that's not really what this vehicle is about, but I am going to test that nonetheless, because I do want to see what the paddle shifter response is like, and I'm sure some of you would like to see that as well. Now, talking about the iDrive 8 system, I wanted to go into the Bowers & Wilkins sound system. So when you opt for the Bowers & Wilkins sound system, you can go into the immersive sound. You can adjust the 3D intensity. Okay, video only available when parked. But basically, I'm gonna shift. See, kind of lazy. But now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put us into sport mode, and I'm gonna downshift, downshift. And you can see in sport mode, if you're flooring it, it's gonna give you those shifts. It's gonna go boom, boom, right into the gear that you wanna go into. And it sounds fantastic. I mean, just take a listen. You can almost barely even hear it because, you know, this thing isn't really centered around sporty driving. It's more centered around, you know, just a very comfortable driving experience, hence why it doesn't sound like super loud here on the interior. But I mean, it still sounds phenomenal. I'm gonna go back into sport mode, manual mode. Listen. I mean, does that not sound fantastic? It's just, the way that the B58 sounds is just incredible, and it's got more than enough get up. You know, I mean, if you're really lead footing it around, you might want to look into getting the M60. That thing is, you know, quite a bit quicker than this, but it's going to get worse fuel economy, and it's going to cost more to get into. So anyways, back into what I was saying about the Bowers & Wilkins sound system. You can go into the sound profiles, and right now you have these different sound profiles. You get the rear, on stage, concert, or studio. Personally, for me, I found that I've liked the studio one the best. I think it sounds the greatest, at least for my taste. You might be different, but I'm gonna put us into sport mode now, and basically I'm just gonna floor it right here, and we're gonna see what kind of acceleration this thing gives us from a, you know, slower speed. So here's floored. I would say that the B58 seems to be optimized in the mid-range RPM. So you're gonna feel the greatest kick of power probably in between 3,000 and 5,000 RPM from what I've noticed. It seems to maybe fall off a little bit higher up into the RPMs. Obviously, this isn't built for speed, guys. This is built to be able to tow. This is built to be able to get you through traffic, which is optimized around the lower RPM range. You know, so all of that stuff makes sense. Sound system is phenomenal. If you like listening to music, I highly recommend getting the Bowers sound system. It's phenomenal. Other than that, super comfortable ride, super comfortable seats, just a fantastic family vehicle if you have the money for it. Go out and test drive one. I think you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. You're gonna agree with me, or, you know, some of you may disagree with me, but otherwise, very comfortable, very expensive, but it's got that very premium look as well. So if that's what you're going for, the X7 may be the ride for you. But that is it for today's video. If you guys enjoyed the video, please be sure to give this video a big thumbs up. Please hit that subscribe button. I'm on my journey to 100,000 subscribers, and I cannot reach my goal without your support. So if you enjoyed the video, if you learned anything from the video, please take a second to like, comment, and subscribe. The likes and comments look very good for my channel in the YouTube algorithm. That is what helps me grow. I greatly appreciate it. But again, that is it for today's video. I will catch you all in the next one. Peace.